Good morning, YouTube. Disclaimer, I'm still not a podcaster, so I have not, yet even given any thought to, making this seem more interesting or whatever, because this is just a PSA for two very special people in my life. And I'm gonna call this video, "What's Up, Padre?" Because it's, you'll know if you know who you are. So this is about two ex-boyfriends who need the accountability that will be brought by using such a platform and making it public. So, if somebody is confused on whether they should come over or not, they can be referred to a URL that outlines these tenets. All right. This is aimed at psycho number 1. This is my first psycho. So chronologically, I have 1 and 2. So let's see. Number 1, we broke up at the beginning of 2018. So it's been over 3 years. Leading up to this, I left you after jumping out of 2 moving cars because of the behavior in the car. And yeah, I get it. Can be a little dramatic, but I got road rash. Like, I couldn't walk for months after one of them. So I wasn't fucking around. I was serious. 2. The fact that I was the only one working during the entire relationship, and we were spending some money because of habits that costed money, so have you gotten a job? No. Have you ever respected my home in the form of leaving when I ask you to? No. Have I had to call your parents at age 29 and 30? Yes. Have you been accosted at my home for not leaving when I asked you? Yes. Now, why would anybody believe that just stopping by and you being special means that you don't need my permission in any form? Especially, repeating that I have blocked you on all platforms. I don't know what about that makes you think that anybody would believe that I'm really just in love with you, and I would be terribly pleased to have you drop in unannounced. Alright, so about the blocking on all platforms. Now, the triangulation theory, which I was speaking to with a buddy of mine, I have not actually done the background research, but it does have to do with a love triangle aspect where you use one person to speak to another person. So you're indirectly communicating, and you're using as a tool one of these people for no reason besides communicating with someone else. So it's a very selfish move. It's not cool at all. So this is you're using my partner, delegitimizing your friendship with him, which is basically all it's doing, because this isn't either of our first rodeos, and spending as much time as we did together in this relationship, I feel like I can hold you accountable for knowing this, because you know me. And apparently you respect my working partner because you say these things. So this is just not the way somebody who I just described would act if they held any respect, love, or admiration for either characters. Alright. the gaslighting is obvious. Your attempts are obvious. They're actually quite disrespectful to either of our intelligence, and we don't appreciate it. Okay? You hold yourself at some high standard. Well, how about intuit some knowledge and read some body language and, like, learn where you're not wanted? Because those are things that adults know. Anyways. And this whole, like, but both psychos, this whole glad you're here thing that you're saying to my partner, this whole veiled, I'm glad you're here and not somebody that, I would, assume she was fucking, instead of me, it's not going over either of our heads. Alright? So you've essentially just ruined any chance you have with either of us to trust or think of you as a confidant, friend, or any of such. So, dear psycho number 2. So, the second psycho chronologically was actually just an extension of the first because he was introduced to, brought by the first psycho. The only reason I know this person exists is thanks to my loving admirer, ex-boyfriend of 2016-2018. Alright, let's first deal with your feeling of entitlement to my home. The home that I do not rent, the home that is owned by my parents. Not only have I already blocked you on all platforms, just as I have the other psycho. You're doing the same thing. You're texting my partner. You're taking away. You're distracting. You're hurting feelings. You're baffling. Just because of the sheer unabashed, like pathological actions that you've taken and the things that you've said. Just sad, really. And just your whole desire to be helped out by either of us. There's a reason that either of us would want you around any of the things that we hold dear, because you have behaved in such a way that nobody who cares about their things and knows about what you've done to my things and other people's would ever feel safe letting you use. You do not respect other people's things. You will not hesitate to take them to feed your own, a habit or whatever. So, you hope there's a way that we forget who you are, is what you're saying? I don't get it. Neither does the person that you ask about this. So, this is a $1,200 iMac that I bought with my own money, saved up for, because I wanted to be able to do graphics and for years to come, because this is an investment that I made. And you've never mentioned any effort or any desire to make up for it. You let your parents believe that I behaved in such a way that would be deserving of that. You know that you did that out of meanness. You knew then. You knew that I hadn't been responsible for what you took your anger out on. I understand it was scary and it sucked, but that kind of thing should have been happening to you and happened to you a long time ago because of the way that you behave. And you know this, and your parents know this, and other people know this. So there's no logical basis for what you did. That being said, why would anybody allow you near any equipment that costs money? Think about it. Just a little bit. It's just, you did it. That was also the third attempt that you made on breaking my iMac. And it's really humiliating and tragic that I have to even say these things, because I should have never even looked at you after that. Do you understand? Regular people don't do that kind of thing, and especially don't turn it around on the other person, or whatever the fuck, however you make what you did okay. But, I let you use my iPad again, not because, you didn't have a phone and you needed to contact people. And the first thing that I told you not to do, you made sure to do, which was impersonating me, which is something I know it's just like a pet peeve, but yeah, I find it kind of annoying and kind of inappropriate and a little bit like, identity theft. Impersonating me to get things out of people, that using me in that way as a tool, using my name as a tool on my equipment in my house. Using me like in a, painting within a painting within a painting way. It's just pathetic, that I have to say this. It's humiliating. You return after you leave that evening, the evening that you used my shit. I told you I was watching a movie. You expressed interest in this movie. I'm sick with pneumonia. I'm still sick with pneumonia. I was very sick that evening. And after telling you a number of times, because you're, outside speaking with somebody, that I was going to go in and watch the movie because I had to lay down. I'll be in there. So you came in and made me restart the motherfucking movie 30 minutes in. Now, if anybody's ever watched a movie with me before, you know how important continuity is to me in a movie that I love. And I love Joaquin Phoenix, and that's a thing about me that's been a thing about me for years. It's a thing that I can say when I talk about the movies that I like, whatever. Inherent Vice by Tom Pynchon. I'd been kind of on a kick, whatever, I've been telling people about Gravity's Rainbow and how it's about Huntsville and Werner von Braun, and like it's 720 pages. It's also, there's like an edition that's illustrated by Zak Miller. Each page of the book is illustrated, about, a situation on the page, and Zak Smith is a pretty well-known contemporary artist. It's just really, really cool. So I certainly look at my notes so I don't forget anything. And this is a very, very fucking weird thing to do. Alright, so you later that same night, complained about the fact that I made you watch a stupid movie. I didn't make you do fucking anything. You're the one that made me stop the movie, restart it, for no fucking reason, apparently. So sorry I wasted your time. So, and, not only that, you mentioned it later, you mentioned, while you're shaming me to my friend and partner, the only person that has my back right now, along with all the comments, thank you very much, along with all the comments, about how I, being a ding-dong, blah, 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 just calling me names and stuff. Somebody who spent a year with me that doesn't even know who the fuck I am, doesn't even care whether or not the person I'm talking to does, by making such outlandish claims about who I am as a person, and, all of these, like, secret things I'm trying to do, because I spend my time fucking masking who I really am at my own home, putting on a performance, because I'm getting paid by the fucking government to be a fucking spy to find out about these little fucking street urchins. Give me a goddamn break, okay? There are no boots on the ground anywhere. They don't need humans. Why in my own home would I make any effort at all to not just feel as free and safe as I can to be whoever the fuck I want to be whenever the fuck I want? So anywho, yeah, so it's like, me and my friend are so appalled, at this point, that, these messages and these attempts and these hopes and these sentiments are just a fucking joke. Because it's like, is this real? Can you read this? Did you see this? It's the whole thing I went through whenever I tried to leave you so many times. And, you used my desire to believe in you and see things in you against me, by doing all the typical things that somebody with the affliction I believe you have does. And I'm not even going to say it because I don't want you to call me one, because you're a very predictable person. I told you this. So, I'm not, and never have, and never will do anything to sabotage you. You know who you are. You're so vain, but you think this song is about you. It is. Sabotage. That takes effort that I'm not capable of. Judging me and my partner's ability to work together and, offering advice. Why? Have you ever worked? Yeah, I know you did it in whatever town, whatever. But no, you don't know how to work with people. Why would anybody want to hear your opinion on shit that had to do with shit beside a stick covered in shit, which you like to use the term poop stick, I guess, because you like sticks with poop on them because they've been in butts. So saying you like anal sex because you're gay, but you know how I know you're not gay? Your whole game is manipulating people that you feel are more vulnerable and less strong than you, and we'll just say that men are a little bit more of a challenge than, just girls that, suffer from, depression or mood swings or whatever, however you choose your victims. I'm sure you don't even know. If you do, that just makes you 10 times worse. And needing someone to see your perspective. What perspective, Gant? That you wish that my mom had not moved in and started putting this house back to where I feel comfortable and she feels comfortable, because that's how I was raised as a private person with my home being my home and my space. So what you're saying is you just hope that there's a way that we can try this again and it'll work, that you come monopolize my home, create it as some kind of open house at all times for any character whatsoever to take whatever they deem profitable at their time, with no regard to whose it is, especially. I mean, I understand. Yeah, it's my fault that I lost a lot of my things that I loved, and it's my fault that I took you back after you, whether or not you meant to, took my treasured collection of cards and reduced them to nothing. But whatever, I've let a lot of that go because you know, I did do a thing or two, like, you know, help somebody who's trying to fucking throw your shit away. I kept a couple of your keyboards, most of the keyboards, but no, you know, really what I did was just make all that up, and like when it's all me to just try to get to you, because blocking you and stuff is just part of my subterfuge to sabotage you in the long run, because you're not sabotaging yourself already. I mean, just imagine where you could be without me. Like, if I never cursed you with my my mind control, stuck you in the rut where you're able to push yourself as an artist and become the enigma that you've created today. And really, I guess I'm just jealous of your success. I don't know. Maybe this video segment is a little bit more revealing about myself than it is how I feel about two people that I'm trying to outline how I feel about, so nobody can have any misconceptions, or there's not a chance that your dropping by is anything but against my wishes and punishable by death and the death of your family. But there are a few things I want to add, like you know, if you're a boyfriend that I had a hard time giving up, and you know, you knowingly took advantage of which is clear to me now, but wasn't clear to me at the time. You know, this was just like egregious, just like self-loathing, just me taking him back and kicking him out, blah blah blah, not being able to stand up to him, blah blah blah, whining about it, always me crying out, can't, oh blah blah blah, for whatever, months and months and months. But you know, if you were that guy and you spent time with me, you know, if you're any good kind of psychopath, you would have tried to pick up on some things about me, like maybe not quite underestimating me to the point to which you would bring your current or ex or whatever kind of love interest over, leave us alone, and think that I'm not going to try to keep her from suffering the same fucking brain damage and like waste of energy, love, time, the only important things in life on you. I'm gonna try to say, regardless of who she is, what she's done, whether she's fat, pretty, whether I'm jealous, whether I am over you, whether I am doing it as a part of a bigger plan, you know, to I don't know, embarrass you in front of all your cool friends because they matter so much. No, I'm gonna give her the too long did not read version of what you did to me and what you're doing to her. Very obviously, stealing, disrespecting, using, whatever. Probably trying to get hooked on something that you can hold over her head to use to control, like you did to somebody else we know. Either way, just the fact that you didn't expect that really sort of helps me to give you a little bit of a break in all of this, because the people that give you any kind of credit for being smart or having any kind of plan are just I guess easy, I guess just gullible. I don't know. I was for a long time, and I pride myself on being able to see through the bullshit and being able to read people. But obviously some people, you know, whatever this was, karmic cycle, whatever, twin flame bullshit, it's definitely been a lesson in showing, characterizing a lifestyle and a partner that I definitely don't want. And that's been, I can thank both of them for, you know, helping facilitate this transformation process, and by doing so in such an extreme level that my verbalizing it just to a person, not even to a public on a platform like this, requires me to really recognize my part in all this, and how I'm going to have to be if I truly am choosing life over just, accepting some fate where I'm like living in a worse type of situation than like, let's say, a Victorian woman in like the 1860s, 1850s. Nah, man. We're in the third wave of feminism, probably the fourth by now. And big surprise, like I studied contemporary philosophy, and like, I'm aware that there's a world outside of Huntsville, there's a world outside of Tennessee, there's beaches beyond Panama City and Orange Beach and Destin, and there is even places outside of LA, which I took one of you, which was a very bad move and made me look bad to all my family. Alright, I hope y'all get the picture. And just in conclusion, where's the camera? Don't call me. I'll call you. Okay?